All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into your gut health. We're going to break down the science behind these trillions of tiny little organisms that, believe it or not, have a massive impact on how you feel like every single day. So let's just jump right in with a pretty wild question. What if I told you that your mood, how often you get sick, even your metabolism, what if all of that was being controlled by this sort of hidden army inside of you? And this isn't some tiny force we're talking about. The sheer scale here is, well, it's mind-boggling. We're talking about 100 trillion microorganisms. To put that in perspective, that's more than 10 times the number of actual human cells in your entire body. This is your gut microbiome, and yeah, it's running a whole lot of the show. Okay, so why does your gut matter so much? How powerful is this hidden army really? Well, let me tell you, its influence stretches way, way beyond just, digesting your lunch. It reaches pretty much every single part of your body. You see, a healthy, balanced gut is like the ultimate multitasker. It's your personal chef, breaking down food and even whipping up vitamins for you. It's your immune system's drill sergeant, getting the troops in line. It's kind of like your financial advisor for energy, deciding what to burn, what to store as fat, and this is the one that gets a lot of people, it's a direct hotline to your brain, influencing your mental health. And get this. Your gut bacteria are literally helping to power your body. They take the fiber that you can't digest and they ferment it, turning it into energy. We're talking up to 10% of your daily energy needs. That's like getting a free power-up every single day just for eating the right stuff. And then there's your immune system. Your gut is basically mission control. Something like 70% of your immune cells actually live there. And the data here is just crystal clear. Having a really diverse microbiome, especially when you're young, helps train your immune system to know friend from foe. I mean, it can slash your risk of developing allergies by up to 40%. That's huge. You know that phrase, a gut feeling? Well, this shows it's so much more than just a saying. A jaw-dropping 90% of your body's serotonin. That's the feel-good chemical, the one that regulates your mood and happiness. It's not made in your brain. It's made in your gut. That right there is the gut-brain axis in action, loud and clear. Okay, so what happens when this perfectly balanced ecosystem gets, well, knocked off balance? There's a word for it, dysbiosis, and it's a really big deal. A ton of research now links this kind of imbalance to a much higher risk for things like obesity, type 2 diabetes, and even inflammatory bowel disease. All right, so we've established why this all matters so much. The next logical question is, how do we feed it? How do we support it? Think of it like a garden. We need to start with a fertilizer, and that brings us to prebiotics. Now, it's super important to get the difference between prebiotics and probiotics straight, because a lot of people mix them up. The easiest way to think about it is this. Prebiotics are the food. They're the fertilizer that nourishes all the good bacteria you already have. Probiotics, on the other hand, are the seeds, or the new soldiers you're bringing in. For a truly thriving gut garden, you absolutely need both. And the best part? You probably don't need to go on some crazy health food store shopping spree. You can find some of the most powerful prebiotics right in your kitchen. Let's start with two staples pretty much everyone has on hand. Yep, onions and garlic. They are absolutely loaded with these special prebiotic fibers, things like FOS and inulin. You can just think of these as the absolute favorite gourmet meal for your best bacteria. In fact, studies have shown that the fibers in onions can help multiply the good guys, like bifidobacteria, by up to 10 times. And garlic, it helps your gut produce more butyrate, which is this amazing fuel that keeps the cells in your colon healthy and strong. And you can start feeding your microbiome right from the first meal of the day. Your breakfast bowl is actually a perfect opportunity to give them what they need. So that simple bowl of oatmeal, it's doing way more than just filling you up. It's packed with a fiber called beta-glucan, which is also fantastic for your heart. And here's a pro tip. If you slice up a banana that's still a little bit green, you're getting a huge dose of something called resistant starch. This stuff is so tough, it survives the whole journey down to your colon, where it becomes a feast for your bacteria. This, again, boosts that all-important butyrate and has the added bonus of helping you feel full for longer. Okay, so that's how we feed the troops we've already got. But what if you need to call in some reinforcements? What if you need to recruit some new soldiers for the cause? Well, that's where probiotics come in. Probiotics are the actual live good guy bacteria. But here's the key. It's not enough to just take any probiotic.
To really get the health benefits, the dose matters. That's what the CFU, or colony-forming units, means. We're talking billions. And just like with an army, you have different specialists. Different strains of bacteria have totally different skill sets and are good for specific jobs.
So, with that in mind, let's meet one of the true rock stars of the probiotic world. This is Lactobacillus rhamnosus GG, or just LGG for short. And this one has been studied a lot. And the research behind LGG is seriously impressive. When it comes to digestive troubles, it's a total powerhouse. It's been shown to shorten the duration of diarrhea and bring some pretty significant pain relief for people suffering from IBS. It can even help power up your immune system. You can usually find this one in certain types of yogurt or, of course, in supplements.
All right, next up, we have a really unique recruit. This one's a bit of a curveball because it's not a bacterium at all. It's actually a beneficial yeast, and that gives it some really cool, unique advantages. Okay, so because Saccharomyces boulardii is a yeast, it's naturally immune to antibiotics. This makes it an absolute game changer for preventing things like traveler's diarrhea or for helping your gut recover after you've had to take a course of antibiotics. I mean, it's even been shown to cut the risk of a dangerous C. difficile recurrence in half. That is incredible.
Phew! Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, right? The why, the what, and the how. So let's boil this all down. Let's pull it all together into a simple, straightforward playbook that you can actually start using today. Really, it all comes down to this, a simple 3-step plan. Step 1, feed your allies. Just aim to get a good amount of fiber, say 25 to 30 grams a day, from a bunch of different prebiotic sources. Mix it up. Step 2, recruit new soldiers. If you have a specific health goal, think about adding a well-researched, strain-specific probiotic. And step 3, which is probably the most important one, stay consistent. This isn't a quick fix. You're not going to feel a massive change overnight. It can take a good 4 to 8 weeks of sticking with it to really start seeing and feeling the benefits.
And there you have it. That's our deep dive into the absolutely fascinating world of your gut microbiome. So I'll leave you with just one final thought to chew on. The next time you sit down for a meal, just ask yourself, are you eating for you or are you eating for your 100 trillion guests? Thanks for joining me.